Hi, I'm Julie from Greenbrier Games, and we're going to talk about Folklore the Affliction, a game for 1 to 5 players that takes 60 to 90 minutes to play, is for ages 14 and up, and retails at $69.95. Folklore the Affliction is a narrative-driven game that gives you an RPG feel, but in a tabletop format. You're in a land called Cremel. Cremel is like medieval Europe, if Europe had vampires and werewolves and witches. So it is a Gothic fantasy horror feel. To start the game, you're going to pick a character. Each of your characters has different stats and abilities, and then gives you a basic choice of one of two focuses, think character class, that will allow you to level up throughout the course of the game. Each player at the table is going to take turns reading the story from the storybook. Your storybook is your GM. It will give you some flavor text that gives you the plot points, and then send you to some sort of choice at a pivotal moment in the story. That might be a story skill check, a choose your own path, a skirmish, or an event. Each of those things acts as a way to further move the plot. If you're doing a choose your own path, that's a group decision that finally comes down to whoever is the leader at the time. Leadership passes when the next moment in the plot happens. If it's a skill check, you're going to be using dice, which work on a percentile. A skill check usually lends itself to somebody who has bonus points in that skill. During a skirmish, you're going to pick the skirmish side of a foe. That skirmish fight will level up depending on the number of players, as well as the difficulty of the story that you're doing. The number of hits is a straight percentile shot. Either you will be able to pass its defenses and hit it and knock it down, or you won't, and it will be able to roll to retaliate. For a full-on event, you will take out one of the mini maps. It will be shown in the story journal how to set it up, and you will place your foe along with your characters and any additional markers that are required. These usually involve specialty skill checks, all of which are explained in your story journal. At each of these points, the outcome will help further the story and augment it, whether it's to choose a different part of the storybook to move to, or choosing a story marker that will be resolved later on in the story. All of this is meant to continue the feel of a narration that moves forward and has repercussions depending on your choices. In Folklore the Affliction, death is not the end. If a character dies, they may be replaced by their ghost counterpoint and continue to help out the party until they are resurrected. Final death of a group still isn't the end. They may get a mark against them, but they still can move forward in the story. There are a number of items, abilities, companions, and other things that allow your character to level up as the stories get more difficult themselves. The gameplay ends when you choose. Chapters are broken up to be manageable gameplay time periods, and stories are as well. You can group a series of stories together to make a more campaign-style game, or just play one story and put it away and have had a good RPG-style feel without having to sink all the time and coordination of players in to make it happen. So, if you want a narrative-driven cooperative game with an RPG feel in a tabletop setting that has beautiful illustrations and a Gothic horror fantasy feel, this is the game for you.